Hey everyone, today I'm having a rather strange day out fishing. It's very quiet, but at times unexpectedly interesting. I'll show you everything as it is, with no miracle edits. Let's see what lives here and how it bites today. We arrived here around 3 in the afternoon. The sun isn't as harsh anymore, and the water is calm. Somewhere in the distance you can hear cars passing by and people talking. There's a village nearby. Roosters shout from time to time. But still, this place has its own kind of peace. Okay, making the first cast, the float landed perfectly, sitting nicely. I love spots like this. Sometimes I even wish the fish wouldn't bite at all, just to have an excuse to sit here and relax. But of course, I'm curious to see what happens today. Sometimes the bite here is very active, and sometimes it feels like the fish decided to take the day off. But still, it's pure bliss. I'm fishing today as usual, a float, light tackle, and a small hook. The fish here prefers a gentle presentation. Tilapia is like that. It doesn't like anything rough. If something feels off, it just ignores it. Today I've got a few different baits. Rice, the classic. Many people say tilapia loves rice, especially with farms nearby. The water warms up and they often feed near the surface. I also brought some small brown boilies, Chinese ones. Honestly, I have no idea what to expect from them. Maybe they'll work, maybe not. But the main hero is the regular earthworm. It always works. Simple bait, but tilapia respects it, especially if the worm is lively. About 10 minutes have passed. Silence. Absolutely nothing. Well, as usual, the fish are testing my patience. By the way, since we're waiting for a bite, let me tell you a bit about tilapia. It's a very interesting fish. Locals treat it kind of like a carp, but in reality it's tough, lively and stubborn. On light tackle, it fights like a champion. It mostly lives in warm freshwater, lakes, small dams, canals. It likes spots with plenty of snags and vegetation. It's important for it to have food, algae, larvae, basically anything. Sometimes it comes up to the surface and feeds from the top. Sometimes it goes deeper. But the most important thing is the conditions. Warm water, not too murky, and no one scaring it. It bites on everything. Rice, bread, corn, dough, boilies, but most often worms. Worms are like chocolate for it. And tilapia often bites in the evening, right before dark. It has its own schedule, and if you hit the right time, you can catch them one after another. Sometimes I think fishing is the best workout for your nervous system. If you want to test your patience, set up a float and wait. An hour has passed. Zero. Not even the small fish are touching it. It happens here. And the funny thing is, I'm not even upset anymore. I've noticed that in this spot, the fish usually become active closer to 5. Maybe the water cools down. Maybe the light changes. Maybe they just have dinner on a schedule. Although sometimes it feels like fish have their own sense of humor. You sit here for 2 hours and they're like, alright, I'll come by a bit later. The depth here is quite decent and the fish move in circles. Sometimes they come in a school. If you catch one, it means there are more nearby. Oh, guys, look. The water suddenly looks more alive. That's a good sign. These tiny movements, it's either tilapia tapping with its tail or small fish fussing around, but it's still nice. After 2 hours of silence, any little motion is a joy. There it is. The first bite in 2 hours. And straight away a miss. Oh, come on. I already forgot what a bite even looks like. Seriously? A second empty strike in a row? I thought things were finally about to change. All right, the worm is huge, and the tilapia here are small. They're just nibbling, okay? Cutting it smaller. 2 hours of silence, and now 2 bites in a row, both empty. But at least something is moving. That means there's a chance. Yes, finally, third try. But the important thing is, it started. Here it is, the first tilapia. That's more like it. Second one, that's it. The activity window is open. 2 hours of nothing, and now it's like someone said, all right, you may start biting. Third one. This is exactly why we sit here for hours like fools, but it's worth it. And this one is more interesting. Took it confidently. You can feel the fish have become more active. Great bite, but nothing. And another miss. And just like that, it's over. Silence again, as if someone flipped a switch. That's normal. They have a short window of activity. The evening bite lasts about 30 or 40 minutes, then everything calms down again. What I like about fishing is that it's never the same. You can sit for 2 hours in complete silence, then suddenly catch several fish in a row, and then silence again. And every time you think, today will have something of its own. Not necessarily a great catch, sometimes just a moment. And tilapia is a perfect fish for places like this. Unpredictable, cautious, but when it comes in, it puts up a fight. And on light tackle, that's pure enjoyment. Today's fishing is calm, beautiful, nothing extraordinary, but these are exactly the evenings I love. Thanks for watching this calm little session. Let me know in the comments what you use to catch tilapia. I'm always curious to compare. See you on the next fishing trip.